Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. I see we have a lot of brand new members. That's so exciting. I can't wait to help you guys get set up and really dig into the Silk and Saunders. I will say that Silk and Saunders has been instrumental in changing my life for sure. I'm coming out of Northern California. I live right outside San Francisco, where the headquarters actually is. I have my fabulous stage manager, Jen O. She'll pop on and give you a little wave.
Good morning, everybody.
She's going to be there supporting us in the chat. So if you're asking questions or whatever it is that's going on, she's going to be there to support us. A couple little housekeeping, make sure that you have your chat set to everyone. I am notorious as a participant of just sitting to panelists. And it's like every time someone has to say it, Karen, change your chat to everyone. So make sure you do that and know that just by being here, you are entered into a self-care raffle and they contact you via email if you are a winner. I'm so excited for this month. Jen O and I were talking about how October is one of our favorite months. We're both former school teachers. And so I think it just has to do with the seasons changing and it's no longer the new year and routines kind of getting in place and such. So I hope you're as excited as I am. I'm excited about exploring the theme and we're going to dig into that in a minute. And I just love the color palette. And I'm not going to lie, I found some Halloween stickers I'm really excited to use at Michael's. Super gothic. But I also, for you newbies, a pencil works great too. If you enjoy your washi tape and your pen ink and your stickers and it makes it fun for you, awesome. But you don't need it for it to be effective. So I just want to put that out there. So also another thing I wanted to say is that I do like to display a lot of quotes in my PowerPoint. If you find one that you absolutely love, I encourage you to use your phone to take a little screenshot or a picture here. So it's going to kind of help you if you just fall in love with one of these pictures like the one that I'm going to put up now. I love this one. It says, and so today begins your next chapter. It's here whether you're ready or not. Where will it take you? What will it teach you? The future may be unknown, but it's up to you. So grab your pencil and make each page count. Fill it with memories, adventure, love, excitement, and laughter. It's all yours. Have fun and enjoy each new page you write. And I thought, oh my gosh, this is absolutely perfect for our journaling and resetting. And maybe you're like me and September, you didn't fill out every single habit tracker. I did really good until last week. And I'm not going to lie, I didn't set up my weekly spread this week because I was on vacation. And you know what? I'm okay with that. And I want to give you permission that if you slack for a week or so, that it doesn't mean that you're a failure and any day is a new start. So I just wanted to say that. Our theme this month is surrender. I'm very excited to explore this because it is not something I really have ever dug into before. And I was talking to Jen in our dress rehearsal. And so for me, I'm not a really religious, spiritual person. And that's what surrender always brings up for me. So I'm excited to dig into this and think about it in different ways besides with religion. And it really came to me when I was coming up with songs that go with surrender. And a lot of them either are religious or about women seducing men, which I thought was a very interesting perspective. There was quite a few, especially in the 90s. I'm not sure what that was about, like Kylie Minogue and things like that. Or it was kind of about men trying to convince women to be a part of them. And it kind of gave me stalker vibes, and I didn't really like that. So digging in a different perspective is definitely exciting for me. And I want, if you are a newbie, know that on the weekly setups, each week is going to dig into a different aspect of surrender. So I'm really excited for you to be able to do that. Another one of our facilitators, Maya, and I create those for you. And I'm very excited about this month, which has actually 5 weeks. So I'm just throwing that out there. I have one more little quote before we dig into our opening activity. Be gentle with yourself. New chapters aren't always easy. Starting over takes time. Be open to the new and don't give up. Good things are coming your way. So if you struggled a little bit last month or you're absolutely brand new, this quote is for you. It's for you. It's for me. I'm very honest. When you have me as a facilitator, I share all my dirt of what has worked for me, what hasn't, what changes I have going forward. I'm very transparent. So in that chat, I am monitoring for the most part. So if you have something that you're really interested in, I am an open book. I am just that kind of person. So our agenda for today is we're going to have our opening activity. We're going to reflect on last month. We're going to set up our intentions for this month. We have a tracker set up. And of course, the tips and tricks are there from you in the chat from everybody else. So lean into it. Notice here, she is an open book about how she uses the journal, and she uses it very differently. She's one of our frequent flyers. So I'm excited to have her there in the chat, also kind of supporting you in a different way than I am, as well as some of those other people who've been doing this a while. Robin says she's dropped Silk and Sonder habits and feel it in all aspects of life. I specifically signed up today to make some time for me to refocus and get back into healthy habits. Robin, I'm with you. A few months ago, I was absolutely right there, and I've been doing better. Am I perfect? No, I've been doing this a couple of years. Have I filled out every single page in the journal ever? No, never. Is it still successful for me? And do I still love it? Yes, absolutely. Okay, so I have two opening activities today. One I created and one that Silk and Saunders created. The first one Silk and Saunders created. And it's an opening activity, and it's just a little breathing exercise. So we're going to take a deep breath and envision all the new opportunities that you are welcoming. As you exhale, we are going to expel all the negativity and the things that no longer serve you. And we're going to do this 3 times. So no one can see you. So don't feel like you're looking dorky unless maybe you're doing this from a Starbucks or something. So you can close your eyes, or you can just kind of lower your gaze. And I just want you to kind of tighten up the muscles in your neck and your body and tense everything up. And yeah, I look crazy, but that's okay. And I'm going to hold it for a second. And then I'm going to release and kind of let everything kind of settle into my body. I'm going to scrunch up my neck because I feel a little tension there. Maybe there's a part of your body you haven't released yet. So I invite you to do the same. So one more little cramping up my toes too. And then release. And then we're going to take a nice deep breath in, feeling all that new positive energy. And we're going to take that breath out, and we're expelling all those things that are negative. So, okay, 2 more times. Take that deep breath of energy and exhale everything that's not serving you 1 more time. And release. One of my favorite exercises that I picked up on the Shine app that I love is triangle breathing. And I don't know if you've ever done this before. I'm asthmatic, so it's really good for me to be able to work on it. Is you breathe in for 3, hold for 3 counts, and exhale for 3. So it's like inhale 1, 2, 3, hold 2, 3, exhale 2, 3. And that really works for me. So that's just your little bonus tip. I want to see Morgan said that. Trying to read. I'm so excited about what it is that I'm seeing in the chat. I'm just loving seeing it. Okay, so we're going to go into our opening activity. If you're brand new, you're only finding this today in this social. You're not going to find this anywhere. So you can do this on a scratch piece of paper, or you can do it in your journal on one of the note pages, scratch pages, wherever it works for you. So I didn't show my own today. I actually put it into a T-chart. So think about, I was a teacher. I was an English second language teacher at a bilingual school in Texas. So I love myself a T-chart. One side, you're going to write surrender. The other side, you're going to write defeat. And I really love exploring this. And what you come up with may not be the same as what I came up with. So I'm really excited to see what it is that you say in the chat. So you're going to list ideas, events, memories, emotions that you associate with surrender. And then you're going to do the same thing with defeat. And then you're going to look at the two and see, are there differences between the two lists? Or what are the emotional and conceptual differences, if any, and what do they mean to you? So this is going to be very different from me than it is for you, but I'm going to share mine to kind of get you going and thinking about it. And I also want to throw out, if a T-chart doesn't work for you, I also love me a Venn diagram where the circles intersect. That would also be a beautiful way to be able to demonstrate this if that works better for your mindset. Because, you know, I also was the inclusion teacher, so I like to give lots of modifications. So for me, my thoughts of surrender is letting go of a little bit of control. Thinking about maybe clothing that no longer fits. Like I had this pair of white jeans that I kept in my closet. My husband's like, every time you try them on, they do not fit, or they are so tight that you cannot breathe. Why are you keeping these pants? So I finally surrendered them, and now I don't have any pants in my closet that do not fit. And do you know how nice it is to look into a closet and not be like, okay, this section doesn't work for me anymore? Guess what? I'm not 20 years old anymore. I'm 43. My body has changed. Things have moved. And I work out and I take care of myself and I eat healthy. And I think about my body in a way that it serves me, right? Not about the way it looks to please other people. Anyway, side note. Surrendering my expectations of others. You know what? I'm not going to be everybody's cup of tea. You can be the juiciest, best peach in the world, but not everybody likes peaches. And that, especially for this one, that perfect holidays do not exist, you know? So I have these ideas of what I want Christmas to look like. And guess what? It never works out that way. So I can surrender those. Now I think about defeat. I think about maybe giving up on a goal or losing a game, or maybe even losing a job by choice or not, being in that burnout area or close to it. So when I looked at these together, for me, surrender is when I'm making a choice. I'm choosing to let go of those genes, and defeat is when I kind of feel powerless. So that's the way I thought about it. I'm going to turn my camera off. I'm going to put some music on. I'm going to allow you to work through this activity at a pace that works okay for you. And I also want to say, in these socials, it's perfectly okay for you not to complete everything. You can always come back to it later and give yourself that permission. So I cannot wait to see what your ideas of surrender and defeat and what comes up with between you. And if you are a spiritual person, I can't wait to see that insight from you. Wow, if you haven't been watching the chat and you've been writing, it has been so powerful. Some of the things you've been saying have literally brought those tears to my eyes. And I think it really resonates of breaking up with the perfect, which is the philosophy of Silk and Saunders. It's hard though, especially if you're a people pleaser like me and Jen are. So I'm very excited for this month and for us to learn together. And I'm right there with you. I cannot wait to do Mayha's daily rituals. I have not done today's yet, but I can't wait to start the new month and learn from our founder as well and from each other. We're going to dig into our journal at this point. So in the reflections, we look at our wins, we look at our challenges, our favorite moments, and what do I want to stop, start, or continue? Now, if you are struggling with some of those favorite moments, one of the things I usually do is I go through the photos in my phone and it's dated. So it kind of gives me an idea of what is happening within that month. So I'm going to show you a couple of examples of this, and then I give you some time to work. So these are mine. These are my actual examples. And you can see some of my wins last month were like, I've been journaling and I've been working on my certification, seems like forever, of apparatus, and I'm almost done. But then like this month, my challenge was I threw my back out doing 3 hours of Pilates, trying to finish those hours. So sometimes when we push too hard, it can be a little much. And that was a learning opportunity for me. And ooh, it still hurts. Things, favorite moments, and maybe something small. Like I road trip from San Francisco to Santa Barbara to San Diego this last weekend. And the best thing was this tiki bar that I got a drink at that was like a Thai iced tea, and they had popping passion fruit boba on the top, and it was amazing. And then things that I want to stop, start, and continue is, I started last month's night meditation. That's been going well. So this time I started a book called 365 Days of Art, and I give myself a time limit. So I break up with that perfect. And I have a friend I'm posting with so that it's holding me accountable. Things I want to be able to kind of stop, maybe not as much DoorDash, but you can also see that things I want to continue is my little Chihuahua Snickers, making sure I have my Snicker walks, and that goes from month to month. So you can see that that's still happening. So there's no right or wrong way to be able to do this. If you had photos and you wanted to print it out, make it super cute, you could do that. Words, however it is that it works for you. I'm going to give you some time and we'll be back in a later. We're here in the chat to support you as you need with any kind of questions or concerns if you're brand new to this. Okay, the chat was hopping. You guys are doing such a great job. This is such a wonderful community to be a part of, and you're reminding me that in the chat. I'm love following along with you. So we're going to move on to the next section, which is our intentions. Now, Silk and Saunders gives us a framework, but if these don't resonate with you, feel free to take washi tape, a sticker, or just put a big ol' X across it and create a new one if one doesn't resonate with you. So we're going to be looking into spiritual health, personal life, physical health, key relationships, money management, and professional goals. Little tips and tricks. You can use the theme of surrender to set your intentions. You could focus on one area, such as self-love or self-talk. Use the name of a song or a tune that inspires you. Katie, one of our facilitators, does that one pretty often. It's not for me, but she's making it work for her, right? We can all be different in this. What you want to accomplish. You can use stickers, colors, or images, and I'll show you some examples. One thing you want to let go of, one thing you want to start doing. And then I love this if you were wanting to kind of do that one thing you want to let go of or one thing you want to start doing, things I'm unlearning, ignoring my own boundaries to please other people. The people pleasers among us will love that one. Making myself smaller to fit into social situations. Pretending like I'm fine instead of asking for support. Believing my self-worth dependent on my productivity. Societal standards of beauty and diet culture BS. Sacrificing my voice beliefs to avoid conflict, not celebrating my accomplishments because others have better ones, seeing external validation over self-assurance, distracting from hard feelings instead of processing them. I thought that was so awesome. I'm going to show you quite a few of different examples here. These are all mine. And you can see 1 month I used images and it wasn't very successful for me. It wasn't specific enough. I'm not a global thinker. The next month I got real, and this is when I renewed myself to Silk and Saunders in June. I got real serious and I put down exactly what it was that I wanted to do. Last month I was feeling creative. And so I found quotes and such and I combined it with writing and it worked out really well. But this week, I just didn't have time to do that coming off of, vacation. I got back Monday. And so I just wrote down and I put it on a sticker. And there's nothing wrong with that. This is going to work just as well for me. I just didn't have the creative outlet that time and I wasn't inspired to do that. And that's okay. Here's some examples from some other people as well. One of mine is over on the left in July. So writing it out worked well for me. So I kept with it. Some people are using stickers. Some people are using like one word or a couple of phrases and they're decorating it and getting super creative with their colored pencils. And then someone else's example is that more less that they were looking at. Less Amazon, I feel you. I feel you so much. September, this is one over on the left was Bailey's, one of our facilitators. She used pictures of cats. I've also seen her use Disney and things like that. Mine is on the right of one I did about a year ago. And so I used quotes and such before. I really liked it. That gave me the inspiration to combine the words with the collage. One of mine, I used photos again, and it worked out really well for me that month. And then here's someone who wrote it out in phrases. So any of these ways that resonate with you is absolutely okay. If you have been doing this for a while, this is a time that I do enjoy looking back at last month to see, did it work for me? Do I still want to carry that over? Like one of mine for the last few months has been to do a green juice. I'm just continuing that this month because it seems to be aggravating my acid reflux. So I'm reflecting on it and I'm like, that's not an intention that's serving me right now. So that's my little piece of advice on that. I will scroll through these slides a little bit at a time and play a little bit of music. And I feel like this is a perfect song to start with. Let It Be. All right. We're going to head into our next section of our journal. It is absolutely one of my favorite sections. And it's because though I don't always do it, and I will be absolutely honest, sometimes I fill in 3 days at a time because I'm like, oh yeah, I remember how I felt, or I did do that day. But looking at some of these trackers, including the mood tracker, really gave me a big picture idea of what it was that was making me happy and what wasn't. And so I guess it was about a little over a year ago, I was trying to finish my Pilates certification. And I thought it was going to be for reformer and thought it was something I was going to do on the side in addition to my career. And I was getting in my hours, and 1 month my mood was happy, and it was so happy, and it was 12-hour days, but it was like I was in a good mood every day. And then this was also during the pandemic, right? So I didn't have as much work because I worked with kids and at a health club. And then the next month I started getting stuff ready, and all of a sudden I started to see my mood plummet. And I was like, I need to make a change. Yeah, it was scary. And I'm very lucky to have a husband who supported me on that. But based on the mood tracker, I literally changed careers and started doing Pilates full time. I finished my mat certification, and I'm almost finished with that apparatus. So there was a lot of value in these trackers, but I also want to give you permission, especially if you're new and it's overwhelming, it's okay to skip certain parts in certain times in your life. Just like you saw my intentions change as my life changed or my mood changed. This is an evolving piece. And I think Nona mentioned in the chat that like she reworked some stuff. As your life changes, as we grow, you may repurpose or change things in your journal, or you may need to experiment a little bit and be like, that doesn't work for me, or this does. I'm going to give you some different examples of how some people have been repurposing. But before I do that, I have a couple more quotes that I just really liked. When we think of the mood, sometimes our mood plummets based on things that are outside of our control, right? So this first one kind of refers to that. Oh, what a shame, it's storming. Makes tea. I had so many errands to run. Lights a candle. So much laundry to fold. Grabs a fuzzy blanket. So many groceries to buy. Burrows under. So much cleaning to do. Opens a book. What a shame. So sometimes things don't go as we plan, but we make the best of it. And sometimes we need to refill our cup before that laundry gets folded, right? Is anyone going to die because that laundry didn't get folded? No, it's going to be okay. And then I also really like this one. Be a curator of your life. Slowly cut things out until you're left with what you love, with what's necessary, with what makes you happy. And that's what I did. And working with kids as a camp director and running programs made me happy for almost a decade. But then life changed, and I grew. And so I made changes in my life. So why mood tracking can be important for you. Understand trends into how we feel, notice and begin making shifts in our life. And yeah, mine was a big one, but it could be little things like that added meditation. And the days I did it in the morning, wow, I was in a better mood all day. Little things. When I lit the candle or I played the music when I was cooking for dinner, my mood just soared. And so we can do more of those things. You can bring tools into what works when a positive mood shows up for us. I'm going to put this up again if you are new, but if you are wanting to use this in the traditional sense of a mood tracker, these are some moods that you can use. And sometimes people really like using all positive. Some people use negative, but the way it works is you may work from the inside out. I'll put this up again while you guys are working. Tips and tricks for setting up. You can use one emotion for each section in the feelings chart. A few different areas from the feelings chart. So sometimes people will, and I'll show you examples of this, log multiple moods during the day, and that's what it's referring to. Or you could focus on surrender for this month. For filling in, you can fill in every emotion, or you can fill in the emotion that was strongest. Ways to repurpose, which a lot of you are chiming in for right here. Daily affirmation tracker. Anxiety levels, depression levels, using as a rating from a scale 1 to 6 for different moods or feelings, tired, anxiety. Some people use stickers. Some people use lines. One in the middle, you can see that they are doing multiple moves on the same day. Some people are making it really pretty, and that doesn't work for me, but that's okay if it works for you. If it brings you joy and pleasure, that's great. We aren't all built the same. We use this journal for different reasons. Some people use it as a creative outlet. I use it for productivity. So sometimes I get a little creative with it, but not so much. So we use it in different ways, and that's okay. And then I pulled some examples here that other people have used, such as an activity tracker or a fitness tracker. Someone else is using it for purpose of fuel of passion or symptom level of dizziness. How would you use it for affirmations? Amy, I'm not sure. I didn't make that slide. If someone does use it that way, I'd love to hear how it is that they're using, or Jen O, if you have ideas on that as well. That's not a way I've used it. Like I said, some of these slides I make, some slides other people make. Yeah, you totally could mark off if you did the affirmation in the app. I also have affirmations that I found out about in Sonder Club when I was stage managing, that are little pieces of paper that I stick up in the shower. So I randomly pull one from the deck and I put it on the shower and read it when I'm in the shower. Here's some other examples here. The one on the left, one time I was using rating of relaxation. I've used it for like acid reflux or migraine tracker. Someone else was tracking their workouts with the Peloton. Someone else drew in little flowers and that made them happy. And that's great. It would make me miserable to draw those flowers every day. We're all built different. Make it work for you. Someone else wrote down a bunch of the feelings so that they could identify when they were moving on. And then here is mine for this month. I'm just using it as a general health tracker. My husband says that I'm like a car that you bought that there's lemon laws against. There's always something breaking. So I'm using mine as a general health tracker, referring to my asthma, my migraines, my sleep issues, like the whole shebang, my back, all of it. I'm a mess. What can I say? So I'm going to put that feelings tracker back up. I'll leave it up for a few minutes while you guys work, and then I'll go back through some of those slides. Okay, we're going to be moving on to that next section with that habit tracker. And yes, if you're confused, our weeklies are an hour, our monthlies are an hour 15. So if you thought it was an hour and you have to get to work or whatever, there are no hard feelings. I understand. The next section is the habit tracker. Now I have one more quote for us. Love these. Life gets busy. Doing, giving, helping, teaching, showing up, loving, caring. It's easy to run on fumes, but you must remember to fuel your own heart, your dreams, your passions, your health, you, because you cannot give if you are empty. You matter too. I thought this is very, very fitting before you dig into the habit trackers. And I'll tell you why. By the way, just if you are a tea drinker, and I'm a huge tea drinker, it's not coffee, Earl Grey with Trader Joe's almond milk that's blueberry and lavender flavored. So good to pick up the lavender in the Earl Grey. I love this one. So a lot of times I will create habits of things that I think I'm supposed to do, but they don't necessarily work for me. And then I've just added to my plate and I've just messed up my mood, and then it all interconnects. So I'm just like, really think about what it is on these habits that bring you energy versus take energy away. Maybe sitting and doing a meditation for you doesn't work. Maybe for you, it's sitting down and reading for 10 minutes, or it's drawing for 5 minutes, or doing a walking meditation. So, keep that in mind as you're creating these habits, not what you think you need to do, but what actually refills your cup. And I will say, when my cup is filled, my life is always better because people gravitate towards good energy. And when I'm doing my journaling and I'm doing the habits that give me energy, I end up with bigger classes in my Pilates studio, not my Pilates studio, but the studio I work at, because they're feeling that energy. So we have to keep our cup full. And we think it's selfish sometimes to do things for ourselves because we're giving to other people. But if we don't give to ourselves, we have nothing left to give. So there you go. So habit tracker, you could start a new habit. You could use it to stop a habit, or you can continue to do habits that you are still trying to establish as a habit. And you'll see that for me. Tips and tricks. Once again, you can lean into the theme of surrender. You could pick a theme like, I want to feel grounded. I want to feel fit. I want to feel calm. It's okay to continue habits from last month. And it's also okay, and you'll see for mine this month, not to fill every line. You can find balance, habits that you can do, like the gimme ones, like I brush my teeth and then I flossed, and the flossing is the one you're trying to do. It's okay to put something on there that makes you feel successful. And sometimes that really works for me because it's like, oh, I can check it off. And then I look at the habit and go, oh yeah, I haven't done these yet today. I need to do it. And once I said, and it's worth saying more than once, you do not need to fill every line. Just because it's there, you don't have to do it. Some of us want to, but you don't have to. Here are some other ones. You can see someone's used cute little hearts. Somebody else, instead of just leaving it blank, drew little lines in between to make them feel better. Because what it is I don't want you to do is that if you miss a couple of days, that you give up and leave it for the rest of the month. So if it makes you feel better to put a heart on it or something like that, do it. And this one over on the right for mine is mine from months ago. And you can see it was actually probably one of my best habit trackers, but I had a migraine for a few days. And instead of just leaving it blank and feeling bad, I just wrote migraine and I gave myself grace. Here's some other examples. Those over there on the left, clutter clearing, dog walking, daily rituals. I like to include that one to keep me honest on it. And also, guess what? When I do my daily rituals, I listen to them when I'm drinking my coffee and I don't pick up a pen. Is it as good as if I sat down and journaled? No, but I'm still trying to establish that habit, and something's better than nothing. And I give myself that permission. Someone else used it as a step tracker. Here's someone else who marked off like, hey, I was unable to do it because I hurt myself, and that's okay. someone else, I love how they wrote encouraging things around the edges. I thought that was so fun. Here's one of mine on the left that was, I don't know why I have a mood tracker there. Sorry. I moved it into the wrong slide. I'm breaking up with the perfect. Here's someone else who, they're talking about waking up, sleep habits, taking the birth control, reviewing the July intentions. I love that. Especially when you get later in the month and you don't remember what your intentions were, go back and review them before you set up your weekly. And here's a beautiful one that someone did like a mandala on. That would drive me nuts. But if it works for you and it makes you want to use it, I think that's amazing. Here's mine on the left for this month. I'm including 3 things and 3 things only, and just put a sticker over it. I'm going to do the daily ritual, my morning rituals, which includes listening to the Shine app, listening to the daily ritual, making my coffee, using my supplements, etc. Putting my skincare on. Because I've already established those habits. If you've been with me for a while, I've been working towards those in my weekly and in my monthly. So now I'm just including it as a catch-all. And then I love this example from Stephanie over here. There's 2 things I really like. When she was sick, she just marked it as sick. She didn't beat herself up. But I also really like the way she labeled like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I thought that was really cool. Now, if you're struggling to find habits, here are some examples that you could use. So I'm going to give you a little time to work on this, and we'll reconvene in a few minutes. If you are repurposing, etc., let us know how you're using this. Share your tips and tricks. Man, Jen O's on fire in the chat today. I love how she said, a habit is something done repeatedly for the purpose of performing the action itself. A ritual is something done repeatedly with a purpose outside of the action itself. I'm all like, girl, you came up with that fast. I was still thinking. Um, and I love, yeah, if you have vacation and stuff, adapt your journal for what it is that you need that month. And one month looks different than the next, and it's okay for it not to look the same. Make it work for you. Sadly, we have come to the end of our time together, and I just absolutely have. I've loved spending time with you guys. I feel so energized. I hope you do too. I feel really inspired about the month of October, and I'm really digging into surrender because it's something I'm really not that versed with. So I hope you're feeling that same kind of energy. We always want to make these better. I know we say this every single time, but take the survey, what it is that, what could we do better? What can we do worse? What would you like to see? Is there a type of social you would like to see? We read that feedback, and headquarters does, and we make those changes based on what it is that you're saying. If you love Silk and Saunders, you can refer to a friend. They get $10, you get $10, and it could go to the annual supplement, which is now the self-discovery one. It could do bath bombs, candles. That sleepy candle smells amazing and burns for a really long time, and it's very pretty with a little wooden cover, just saying. If you're not in the Sonder app, please know it is a wonderful supportive place. I will give a caveat. I always reply to comments that people put or postings after the social. Jen O and I have reported it, and they're working on it. There is a bug that I'm unable to log in, and it's going directly to the ritual. So if you're having the same issue, know that they already know and they're on it. But when I can, I will go back and look and read. And then if you have missed a social, you want to watch something again, there's no chat. Sometimes the music's cut because of copyright, but that YouTube channel is there for you to be able to watch. Like maybe your favorite facilitator hosted something you couldn't go. So that's there for you as well. But you do need the link. You cannot search for it because it is a private channel. With that said, I'm going to lead us out with a song to a new to me artist. Her name is Kaya, and this song is called Surrender, and I do absolutely love it. I will include 2 links to playlists, one for the instrumental and one for the surrender songs. I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you for spending this time with us, and I can't wait to see you at the next social.
I'm alive in the moment. I'm again for my focus to the things that keep me floating. I'm alive in the moment. I let go and I surrender. I reside in my center. Every day only gets better. I let go and I surrender. I'm so tired of waking up and feeling like I'm not enough. Chasing validation, lacking patience and some love. 'Cause life feels so much clearer when I stand still and look within. I can't even do nothing, I'm always rushing. Start, breathe, let it be. Loosen your grip, just wait and see. There's so much more to you and me. Just breathe, just breathe. I'm alive in the moment. I'm again for my focus to the things that keep me floating. I'm alive in the moment. I let go and I surrender. I reside in my center. Every day only gets better. I let go and I surrender. How many times are we gonna go around the same old road that leads us down? Surely we've grown to be smarter now, seeing the ways of a different route. Chasing a check ain't fulfilling